So, did her plan work? Did she make me mad enough to come out of retirement after 18 years and start training again to make her dream of fighting me and having a big payday courtesy of Laila Ali come true? Absolutely not. After years of blatant lies and vile disrespect, making unsolicited negative remarks about me, questioning the legitimacy of my boxing legacy, and having the audacity to cross the line by disrespecting my deceased father, trying to use his name to discredit his daughter.
Listen, Muhammad Ali would never. Her daddy would never. Her daddy would never. Maybe she don't have that in her genes.
She will not be rewarded with the opportunity to share the ring with me or anything else. There's your answer.
Laila Ali has been losing the fight against me for a very long time, and we all know when you start losing the fight, you go below the belt. I really did not want to have to respond to this video because I am not into tearing another black woman down. This is just another example of the older hating on the youth. So now I want to come and set the record straight on what really happened, how our beef started, and how we got here today. So let's take it back to the beginning. 16-year-old Claressa Shields from Flint, Michigan, fighting her way to the Olympics to represent her country. Now, for those who don't know, around this time, I was relatively unknown. I was a diamond in the rough. Mary Spencer was 3-time world champion. She is from Canada. Me and Mary Spencer met up at the Continental Championships to face off. And oh, did I put a whooping on Mary Spencer.
I always have the highest hopes for myself.
So she was not the first person to interview me. Me beating Mary Spencer put everybody on notice. The young black girl from Flint was coming. Speaking of all the interviews that I did, Laila Ali came to the Olympic Training Center where I was training for the Olympics at, and me and her developed a big sister and little sister relationship. And now I wonder if it was even genuine because she gave me bad advice. She told me to stay amateur and win as many Olympic gold medals as I can because there was no TV exposure and no money for women's boxing in the professionals.
When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat.
That was nothing but her trying to body shame me and discredit me for winning world championships at weight classes in five different weight classes, which is 154, 160, 168, 175, and 175 plus. I went against her advice, and I was the first woman to make $1 million in women's boxing. Before this interview on The Breakfast Club with Laila Ali, me and her were very friendly. This is what ignited the entire beef.
You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. I mean, you know, it's still not what I would have wanted. I would have wanted more because I have a big picture. So it was great.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun, shits and giggles?
Money right, Laila there and night. You know, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
She claims that I took this out of context. And one thing I will say, she wasn't just saying that I wasn't good enough to inspire her and to give her a challenge. She was saying that all the women who were currently boxing could not give her a challenge. The problem is that I am the only one that says something. Now, coincidentally, I'm not the first woman athlete that she's done this to. Let's rewind again and take it back to when Ronda Rousey was the queen of combat sports.
Are you a fan of Ronda Rousey?
I wouldn't say that.
Before it was me, Ronda Rousey was the queen of combat sports. I mean, this girl was arm-barring girls in less than 30 seconds. She was viral. She was making hundreds of millions of dollars in her field. When she was on top of her game dominating, Laila Ali became jealous. And instead of her embracing Ronda Rousey, she started during interviews telling everyone how she would beat Ronda Rousey in a fight because she was too small and the size of her daughter. Play the clip.
Ooh, honey, I tell you, honey, she is sick and tired of that girl, Miss Shields, and she got something to say. Miss Ali have something to say about all of this. I want you guys to hear this. Check this out. Ra, what you got to say?
About the possibility of me making a comeback to boxing. And people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm going to give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of. There's been a whole lot of talk about the possibility of me making a comeback to drama and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
no, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
No, that is
Layla can rumble though.
And Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Laila so pretty out.
So this right here is the consequence. Now let's hit rewind because we really need to see what's happened over the years, what got us here. Now I'm not about to do the whole he say, she say thing, so let me show you some receipts. I first met her in 2012 when she was invited on stage to stand next to me when I gave my father his Liberty Medal. At some point, she reached out, started asking me for advice, wanted to know if she should go to the Olympics the second time or go pro. She would also call me and let me know when she was fighting. I was one of the hosts of We Need to Talk, an all-female sports commentary show that still airs on CBS. I asked drama and buffoonery. I asked the producers if we could do a story on her. They agreed. So I got on a plane, flew to Colorado, and did a full sit-down interview with her. I know that when I was fighting, any of my struggles that I had to overcome or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home, but I would have a boxing match, and I would take out everything I was going through on the girl, and that kind of helped me. Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her about the challenges that I faced fighting at 168 where there was limited competition, and I suggested that if she decided to turn pro, she should consider going somewhere around 148 where she would have more competitive challenges. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off the producers of that excess body fat and get into elite next level shape.
Elite, bitch.
I pointed her in the right direction and I had high hopes for her. Whether she decided to turn pro or not, I felt like her future was bright if she played her cards right. But of course, at the time, I was not aware of her divisive, vindictive, and malicious nature. And I know those are strong words, but they actually fit. This girl has created a pattern. It's been directed towards many people time and time again. She saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to ruin my reputation ever since, simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her, and she took it personal.
You ever get back in the ring just for fun?
You still train?
I stay training.
Got you.
Yeah, I got a little baby six-pack right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a heavy bag hanging in my. I just turned 40. Because I think of my healthy lifestyle, the fact that I train all the time, I could pretty much do anything I wanted to. Well, I don't think
you can.
That excess body fat, if there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge. Not somebody who sits back and complains about things. I think everything happens in due time. You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. She's a young black girl, came out of Flint, Michigan, lived a hard life, went through a lot. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. Women's boxing is getting some good attention. Now remember, at the time, we were on good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis. But this was her response.
I watch
the Breakfast Club video with Laila. You know, I have so much respect for her, you know, and I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid attention, you know, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the #1 in my... And, you know, I'm just like, you know, nah. And, you know, I just feel like...
If there's anyone there for me.
You know, she gave props where it's due, but, you know, she also spoke on how, you know, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. And it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. You know, me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. You know, even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime I don't know how many times now.
Now, of course, I didn't respond to this, but I noted it. For someone who hardly had any experience as a professional boxer and who was supposedly looking up to me, for her to think that I would even call her name in a conversation about me fighting or making a comeback was silly to me. A year later, I was doing press for my show Homemade Simple on OWN, so I went on Sway Universe, another syndicated national show with millions of listeners.
Are you watching women's boxing today?
Oh, yeah.
You like Claressa?
I do. I think that a talented fighter, and she has the opportunity right now. The stage is set, you know, so now,
you know, she gave props where
now she just has to kind of do her thing.
I had Claressa here, right? I asked her who does she think would win and you against you in your prime and her now. And this is what she said.
She's not cut like me. She don't take the challenges. Like, she didn't fight against Ann Wolf. I fight against the best and beat the best. And if Laila Ali was to come out of retirement, I beat her too.
That's not anything I haven't heard before. First of all, she's supposed to feel like she's the greatest.
Absolutely.
But just because you think you are doesn't mean you are.
Okay.
I like to support and uplift people, and I think that on your way up, just do your best not to disparage those that have come before you. First of all, she could never beat me.
Okay.
Let me just get that straight right now.
You want to get that straight, Laila?
Let's get that straight right now.
Okay.
And not simply because she's not strong enough, okay, because I would definitely knock her out, but because she's not talented enough to beat me. Now you've seen what she's been referring to. So she felt justified to go on a tirade and of course her. Now you've seen what she's been referring to. So she felt justified to go on a tirade and of course she's twisted the story over the years and taken my comments out of context. Now, according to her, I just started talking about knocking her out just out of jealousy. Now you've seen what I said, what she said, how this started, and you can see she pitted herself against me in a fight. Now, I know some of this younger generation may not be familiar with me, but I've never been one to just talk about things I can't do. When I said that I would knock her out back in 2019, it wasn't any different than what I've said to anyone who's challenged me in the past. You can go back and look at tape on me. That was not just talk for me. It's what I did. TKO, KO, it didn't matter. I was going to stop you.
too. It's a blueprint now on how you make $1 million, even if you don't have the gold medals. The biggest blueprint is build your brand.
Oh, she must have forgot years ago she recorded this and said that I gave her the piece of advice that she is now referring to as the most valuable piece of information that you need to be successful. But supposedly I didn't support her and I didn't want to pass the torch.
Laila Ali told me to...
Respect, it's all love. She's the only one who decided to make herself my opposition. You know what my father would say? She's a generic wannabe. My father would not want to share his name or image with her. She does not represent anything about him in the ring or outside of the ring. Now, many of us, including myself, had high hopes for her. I supported her. I sent her off in the right direction, but she has become a disappointment. She is a horrible representation of both the sport and our culture. Beneficial.
Honey, what do y'all think about that? Comment. I want to know. I want to hear what other people got to say. What you got to say, Daily Hip Hop?
Name for clout.
Did she wrong information, honey. Wrong information. Comment. Let me know what y'all think about this, and I'm out. Bye.